I started my YouTube channel 2 years ago, and over that period of time, I have uploaded 125 videos onto my channel. Today, I'm going to share what finally got me to post that first video, how I got over the fear of online judgment, what kept me going, and how I see my channel evolving over the next year. By the way, my name is Carly. On this channel, I largely talk about personal finance. I talk about the business side of modeling and how I live intentionally. If you're interested in those topics, feel free to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss my videos. The thing with starting a YouTube channel, any social media platform, or even starting a business is that I feel like people often have the feeling that they're too late to start. I posted my first video January 2023, and when I did, one of my biggest regrets was not starting earlier during the pandemic, because I feel like that's when a lot of channels seemed to pop off. But then I realized maybe mentally I wasn't ready to start then, and that's why I didn't. I had played around with the idea of starting a YouTube channel for years at that point, but was always too scared to show myself trying. I also didn't know what I would talk about, and I just put so much pressure on myself about starting a YouTube channel. So all that to say, starting YouTube was really intimidating for me. I still remember filming my first video and being really nervous about it, even though I was doing it alone. The act of recording myself just seemed really daunting at the time. And if I recall correctly, it took me over an hour to film a 10-minute video. Even posting that video was really scary too. I ultimately started my channel because I had a lot of energy I wanted to put towards something that could fully be mine. I knew I wanted to start a business, but I had no idea what direction to take. So ultimately, I decided I would start building my personal brand by sharing my knowledge on the internet and anything else that interested me. When I decided to start my channel, I committed to uploading one video a week. This is something I held myself accountable to because I knew I wasn't going to get good at creating videos unless I gave myself the practice of scripting, filming, and editing video after video. In general, I'm aware I can make my videos better, but I always act on the premise that done is better than perfect. If you commit to your YouTube channel and upload consistently, I feel like you can't go wrong. In the beginning, you might get very few views, but that gives you the space to practice and experiment with topics, or even just learn how to make your videos of a higher quality. But if, on the other hand, your videos do really well in terms of views, then that means you're doing something right, and you should lean into what is causing people to be interested in your content. But I think the hardest video to post is your first one. It feels like there's so much pressure on your first video, but I think that there really isn't. If you're interested in starting a YouTube channel but you haven't yet, comment down below why that's the case. I'm really interested to know. I feel like I talk about getting over the discomfort of putting myself out there every time I make a YouTube reflection video. And surprisingly, this is something I got over quite quickly. I definitely felt nervous to upload maybe my first 5 videos. I think it was the discomfort of people I know seeing me try to succeed so publicly. But in reality, uploading my videos was always quite anticlimactic for maybe the first 10 months because a lot of my videos would get like 80 views. The better performing ones might have gotten around like 200 views. At the end of the day, I pushed through that discomfort, and now I don't really think twice about uploading anymore in that sense. My thought process is that this is my business. I had always started my channel with the intention of turning this into a stream of income. And I told myself that I would continue creating videos as long as, to me, it remained worth my time. But once I came to the realization that people can think whatever they want, but I would, and now I do, make money off of this, I felt so much more liberated. And to be honest, no one has ever said anything negative about my YouTube channel to my face. In fact, if it even matters, people have been really gracious and supportive when I tell them that one of my streams of income is being a creator. I think even beyond the whole putting yourself out there, people realize how difficult it is to consistently come up with content ideas and create videos on a regular basis. Because if it were easy, everyone would do it. Even with my perspective as a creator, I respect when people put themselves out there to share their ideas. It takes a lot of courage to put yourself in front of the public's judgment. I certainly have had some critiques on my videos, and some have been valid, which I've learned from and I really appreciate. And when people critique aspects that don't benefit me or my content, I simply delete those comments and move on with my life. I understand what it feels like to feel so motivated to start a YouTube channel, post consistently for a couple of months, and then get unmotivated at the lack of views and engagement. And I also understand the desire to maybe even stop uploading videos altogether. I have definitely been there, questioning whether or not it's worth it to continue on this journey. But I think if you're really interested in investing in a YouTube channel and you have no previous experience, it's something that you have to keep doing for a number of months, if not maybe even for over a year, to start creating videos good enough to get some traction. And personally, at the 2-year mark, if I hadn't gotten monetized as a YouTube partner I would have sincerely reevaluated whether it would have been worth it for me to continue. I am acutely aware that we are all on our own journeys and different channels will grow at different speeds. When I started, I got the sense that most people with no prior scripting, editing, or copywriting experience, any experience that would have helped them succeed at a YouTube channel, I found that these creators generally needed 1.5 to 2 years to get their channels off the ground. And I found that that was certainly the case for me too. At this point, I do have a system, so I don't have to think too hard about how I create my videos. Obviously, I have to come up with video topics and scripts, but I know the steps it'll take to create a video from concept to final product because I've done it so many times at this point. I think that makes the process of creating a little bit easier. One thing that caught me by surprise is learning who my supporters are. Some of my biggest supporters are people in my life that I wouldn't necessarily have imagined, and also the strangers that reach out to. If you start a YouTube channel, you might be pleasantly surprised by who will support you. It's always very heartwarming when someone tells me that they watch my videos, and some of your biggest supporters might be people you have never even met. Probably one of my favorite interactions is one time when I was on set and one of the models that I was shooting with that day, whom I had not yet met, came up to me and the first thing out of her mouth was, "I have something to tell you." And I said, "Tell me." And she said, "I watch you on YouTube." And let me tell you, I was not expecting that. And that just goes to show you never know who might be getting value from your content and when you might come across them in real life. For the first 1.5 years I was on YouTube, I had been so focused on getting monetized. I finally monetized after a couple of videos started doing really well for my channel. I've had some events and life changes in the last 6 months, and I am continuing to keep posting as consistently as possible. So in this next year on YouTube, I am going to continue to grow my audience. And it always helps if you share my videos with friends who you think would find my content helpful. I'm also planning some more life changes in the next year, which I will also document on this channel. I think I would love to slowly start building a more tangible community. I'm not sure what that would look like yet. That might look like maybe an email list, maybe a Patreon or some other third-party website. I think what I have appreciated most about building this YouTube channel is that because this is a space I created, I can build a community that largely shares the same values as I do. If you're thinking of starting to build a presence on YouTube or any other social media platform, I would encourage you to just start. I think it's not too late. Everyone has their unique perspectives that someone can learn from, and I think there's space for everyone here. Posting that first video is quite scary. I feel like there's a million things you can do to make it better, but you can't iterate and improve if you don't start posting. You'll gradually overcome the fear of putting yourself out there and grow more confident in that process. That's been the case for me. And if you keep posting consistently, you might be pleasantly surprised at what you get out of this platform at the 1 year or 2 year mark. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in the type of content I create on this channel, feel free to check out this video on the hidden cost of overconsumption or this video on why I quit my job to buy a business.